In this video, I'll be choosing my words extremely carefully because I'm a middle-aged white guy, and if misinterpreted, the things I'm going to say could get a middle-aged white guy into a lot of trouble. That being said, I think now finally, as a society, for those of us who aren't woke leftists, viewing everything through the false lens of oppression, I think we've reached a tipping point. The point where most of us can go, enough is enough. We're sick of the false victimhood narrative, of people who want to blame everyone else rather than taking personal responsibility. So the reason I'm being careful is because we're going to delve into some of these minorities which I think most of us are sick of. And we'll begin with something called black fatigue. I did not come up with that term. It's been trending on TikTok and among some of the content creators I follow on YouTube, women like Amala Epinobi, Gothics and Patient Xena. If you've not watched their channels, watch their channels. They're proper YouTubers, not the shit that I do. But essentially black fatigue is the idea that members of the black community and others are getting sick of certain behaviours from a minority of a minority. I want to stress that, a minority. The whole world's racist ghetto bullshit thing. I'll let a black woman explain it. She'll do it far better than I will.
It's not racist, and I know y'all have been told this is racist, but it's not. It's not racist to call black people out for their behavior and what they're doing to society at this moment. I'm glad people are noticing this because it's been so many years and it's finally catching up to y'all. I've been trying to tell y'all that white people are tired of y'all. I'm tired of y'all too, but everybody, the world is getting sick of y'all and y'all's bullshit. I'm so glad this day is here. I've been trying to get out there that you people need help. Not just me, but me and other black conservatives. We've been trying to warn society that this is what it's going to come to when y'all keep coddling black people. They're going to see themselves as higher ups. They're going to see themselves as untouchable because the world wants to not be racist towards them.
Okay, so her caption said that it wasn't racist, and of course I'm not going to talk over a black woman. I'm guessing, well, none of us like to be put into stereotypes. We don't like to be pigeonholed. As a straight white man, I hate hearing the term straight white man because I know the person addressing me is going to assume that I'm akin to either Andrew Tate or Hitler just because I'm heterosexual and I have light-coloured skin. And I guess it must be bad for members of the black community when you see shit like this. That's a graduation. What is going on there? And the problem with stereotypes is there's often a grain of truth in them. Last week I was in the supermarket and I could hear a woman on her phone and I knew her skin colour without seeing her. She was 4 or 5 aisles away, screaming at her mobile, and when I went onto that aisle, there she was with her 4 or 5 feral kids with 4 or 5 different dads, I'm guessing, and I know if I intervene, I'll be the far-right racist. Anyway, this black fatigue is mainly going on in the USA. Now it's crept to the UK.
Answer the question!
It's not about what you did, it's your ancestors. It's still regular to you. The reason why you're driving today is because of what my people did. The reason why you're here today is because of what your people did to my people. You don't do anything for this country. You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. The reason why you're in the streets, these streets were built by my ancestors.
Hating a group of people based on the assumptions of what their ancestors may or may not have done to me is utterly fucking backward. But the thing that enrages me is that young man is obviously so badly informed. Sir, your ancestors did not build the streets. I'm guessing that's London. So those streets were probably laid down by the Romans, the Angles, the Saxons, the Vikings, the Normans, or the fucking Irish. So that gentleman is of African descent, and there's a lot of talk at the moment about the way that Africans made the Western world, which I think is really generous as they still haven't bothered to build Africa. However, my best guess for that gentleman's past would be this. Many centuries ago, his ancestors would have been in a tribe in Africa who got into a war with another tribe and they lost that war. So the winning tribe will have sold some of the survivors to European or American slavers. In his case, probably slavers from the British Empire. They would have been transported to the Caribbean, where they would have worked on plantations until slavery was abolished by the British, and they would have been freed. Then scroll forward a couple of centuries to the end of World War II, when the Brits looked round after VE Day and VJ Day and went, fuck me, we've lost a lot of people, let's bring some folks in from the Empire. So my best guess is his grandparents came over here in the 1950s or 1960s. Sir, the houses in the background have been in this country longer than your family. So next up we have the trans crowd. And I always say the vast majority of trans people are just trying to live their lives, and if that's you, I wish you the very best. But it's the hardcore lot, who just need to be fucking quiet. If you're a man and you want to wear a dress and call yourself Daphne, that's fine, just do it. Stop demanding the rest of us play along.
Simple as. If she says she's a woman, she is.
Okay.
I'm a woman.
So you're a woman?
Yeah.
Okay, when you tell me you're a woman, what does that mean you are?
I don't know, it's as simple as that. I feel like a woman, that's how I choose to present myself.
What feelings do you have that you relate with being a woman?
Femininity, I don't know. That's what I'm more comfortable with.
Okay. Why?
Couldn't tell you.
But you are a woman.
Yes.
Okay. But you don't know what a woman is.
Well, I do know what a woman is. It's anyone who identifies as a woman.
Okay. Any further?
I cannot say much. I'm non-binary, so
So you're not a woman or a man?
no, I am not.
Okay, so you know you're not a woman. What is a woman that you're like, no, that's not what I am?
I just don't like being associated with like femininity or masculinity. I do not feel I fall in either of those categories at all.
I feel like a woman. That Shania Twain song would have been very different had it been sung by that individual. That individual sporting an undercut haircut reminiscent of Jason Newsted from Metallica in the early 1990s. So, he feels like a woman, but he doesn't know what a woman is. Mate, can you not see why it's so fucking exhausting? And then the non-binary thing chirps up. And I've got more time for the trans crowd than the non-binary crowd, because at least the trans crowd have picked a fucking lane. Next up, let's see a dad dealing with his trans daughter.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up, please!
I think that's where a lot of us are at the moment. Because we've been nice and accepting. We changed our Facebook profile pictures and some people put pronouns in their Twitter bios. And now we're getting ready for the barrage of Pride Month. And I have no problem with people's sexualities. We don't get to pick our sexualities. And to be honest, if one man wants to suck another man's dick, that has very little impact on my world. But we know, in the next few days, it's going to be rainbows fucking everywhere. And there's another group which I think most of us are sick of. And I don't think I've ever mentioned them on this channel. Influencers. In particular, people who record themselves at the gym. Here's one.
So I actually got kicked out of my gym today. My membership was revoked. And the reason being was it was like a safety concern. There have been a couple of people who have tried to hack into like the security footage to see what kind of workouts I do because they wanted to get their ass as fat as mine. Like, you could have just asked.
How staged is that? Clearly, she's got her cleavage out, making sure we can all see her calcium cannons, and then bring on the fake tears. I'm such a victim. I was kicked out of my gym. If she was really kicked out, I'll put money on it. She was filming herself doing something bordering on OnlyFans content. But there's another type of influencer, the weird influencer.
Come, look! If the car key is locked in the car, not only that, the car door can't be opened. When this happens, what would you do? Some people say, I would go to the side of the road, pick up a brick like this, smash the glass to remove the key. Wrong. Very wrong. This smallest piece of glass is the most expensive piece of the car. Don't smash it. Others say, I'll get a wrench like this. Pry the car door open. Wrong. Totally wrong. If you do that, not only would you scratch the paint, and the door locks will be broken. Today, I'll show you a method without spending a penny. You can get the key.
Okay, so I cut that short because it's over 2 minutes long and it's excruciating. The solution she comes up with is to put gaffer tape all over the passenger window, then yank it down with a makeshift handle. However, in that situation, I wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't pick up a brick and smash the window of the car. What I would do is use the spare set of keys that I'd used, obviously, to lock the other keys into the fucking car to open the car again. Who leaves their keys on the dash and then waits for the car to lock itself? It's ridiculous. Can we all agree? These groups of attention-seeking, irritating people can all fuck off right now. We've had enough. Anyway, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you can leave a like or a comment, that helps the algorithm. If you'd like to support me in making these videos, there are links in the description to buy me a coffee and a link to my Patreon. And as ever, thanks for watching. In this video, I have to be extremely careful over 6 seconds. In this video, I need to be extremely careful on the wording I'm using because I'm a middle-aged white guy, and I might say things that I want to say middle-aged white man fucks it up. Another thing I can't stand at the moment are Temu adverts. Because first of all, the dubbing of fuck it. Another thing I can't stand at the moment are Temu adverts because the dubbing is worse than that on a 1970s Bruce Lee film. And they make no sense. Have you seen the one where the attractive Japanese lady, or Korean, I'm not sure, drops her tablet, a guy stands on it and she says, "Oh, you broke my tablet, give me another." He opens the boot of his car and he's got about 50. Why is he driving about with that much fucking hardware? And I'm sure the same thing applies to the trans community. When they see people like Lily Tino or Dylan Mulvaney or Jeffrey Marsh, thinking, my God, are we being lumped in with them? In particular, Jeffrey Marsh, who, in my opinion, shouldn't be around kids.